G2 doing enough to slow it down. Lee's timing is impeccable.
Silent all over, and second swings back, Sight gets 3.
I am here with Josh RT before the next map. I got to ask you, the consistency, even though just a few games we've seen from the team so far, it's been so good. How is the team taking control of games so fast? What's the focus, and what are you able to pinpoint in your opponents?
I think it's all about being confident in like what we're want to do in each round, identify like what the enemy is trying to do, and just figure out a solution for it. Yeah, we just try to keep a humble approach, because we know like things can get out of hand really quickly in this game. So it's just staying on our toes and just like always play the game that's in front of us, really.
Confidence, calm, cool, collected. It's bringing in the wins. Best of luck in the next games.
Well, it's clear G2 figured it out in most of those rounds. A dominant start to their series here, and now just one map away from Masters Bangkok. I'm Mimi, and I'm joined by a very special guest now, MCE, former coach of Cloud9, now coach of Maryville Esports. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, an incredible first match from G2 there. They've looked so good all tournament, and this dominant win on Abyss, what impressed you the most from watching that game?
I think a lot of what you watch in G2 and what stands out is not only are their players very good mechanically, but the decisions they make in rounds are incredible. One of the last rounds you saw Valen push through completely, didn't over push, and had the entire information for the rotate. Every single player on that team is capable of that. They're all extremely high IQ players, and they just have such good trap plays and fundamentals and things set up from the coaching staff that, I mean, G2 looks great. And, you know, their Abyss has been great. They've been amazing on everything so far.
Yeah, they've looked outstanding. But one of those high IQ players you're talking about is Leaf, who you coached during your stint with Cloud9 and VCT Americas, and before that, very early in his career on Chaos Esports Club. Talk to me about your time working with Leaf. What makes him special as a player?
I mean, you see some of these players, and you get to work with you know, younger guys that come up and they haven't like had any experience. And people like Trent, people like Leaf, people like, you know, these kids that come up, they just do things, and you're like, you know, why would you do something like that? And they're like, oh, I saw this, this, and this, or I heard these 3 comms put together in the round where everyone was, and they make decisions so quickly that it's crazy to follow. Like, they just have almost like an intuition for the game that it just makes it so easy on them and their teammates that they can put everything together without seeing everything in a round, and it's a rare attribute to have. And you see a lot of the top players are just, you know, kids like this now.
Yeah, Leaf has been described by other people who've played with him before as someone who adds a lot in game, is a very vocal player, but also someone who watches a ton of VODs, is spending a lot of time just watching Valorant outside of the game. How much does Leaf add in terms of the ideas into the game, the comps teams are running, and all of that behind the scenes?
I mean, I think one thing Leaf gets some flack for is he doesn't play the game that much, like outside of practice, and he likes to play other games. Like, he's just extremely talented. He does work hard, but like, he doesn't put in 150 ranked games, you know, every 3 weeks. But what he does when he's playing other games, when he's playing ranked, when he's playing DM, he'll just have a matchup that he's watching, like, while he's doing other things. And because of that, he sees so many different things. He'll watch, you know, other people's streams. He'll watch all these different sources of information to put those things together, because he identifies like what he likes. He's like, yo, coming into practice, I saw this really cool trap that Team Heretics did, or like Benji's doing this cam. Like, why do we think this cam is good? I think it's because of this. We should definitely try this out. And having a player like that is a, you know, dream situation, especially for an IGL like Valen, that Jake can just sit there and trust everything Nathan's saying inside of a round, because he's like, yo, I think they're doing this trap. I'm going to try to take B space. And you see everyone in this G2 team just have that kind of knowledge. And part of that is because they all watch things, they work hard, and they have a great coaching staff.
Well, thank you so much, MC. Clearly, Leaf, an excellent attribute to his team. If you want to check him out, make sure you're watching Collegiate Valorant as well with Maryville Esports. Thank you so much for joining me, MC.
Thanks for having me. It was great to be back.
Let's check in with our other coach now, Kaplan with Sentinels, and hear his thoughts ahead of map number 2.
I am joined by Kaplan after Abyss. Looking at how in previous games we've seen how fast the team can adapt and organize themselves. What do you think prevented them from doing that against G2 in map 1, and what are you looking forward in map 2?
Yeah, I think we started a little cold, and I think that's all right. We're a team that's still working out some issues and matches, and on stage, G2 are an incredible team, and it's a big game. It's we got a chip on our shoulder, and we want to go to Bangkok. I think there's a little more pressure than usual. We started a bit cold, but hey, it's their pick. I'd rather start cold on their pick than ours. You know, I asked them what's the score, and they know the answer, 0-0. We plan to play 3 different maps. We plan to beat them on the next 2. So.
All right, Kaplan, thank you for the insight. Best of luck.
Thank you for joining us.
Every single series for Sentinels here in our 2025 kickoff has gone to 3 maps. This one is going to be no exception if they have any hope of qualifying here and now for Masters Bangkok, getting into our grand finals.
And how have all those series gone for G2 so far? 2-0, 2-0, and right now it's 1-0. But we are headed to Sen's map pick Pearl, where they've been playing a hell of a lot of Tejo. That's what John has been on the entire tournament up until that last map. And really, that was the first time we saw Sen playing. Now, obviously, double controller is a little unorthodox, but still playing a lot of the default Abyss agents that we saw prior when it came in 2024. But for everything else, all the other maps, we're looking at these 2 teams as 2 of the teams that are trying to push the meta forward. They are playing the new agents a lot of Tejo, a lot of Vice, and a lot of Chamber in the case of Leaf. We saw this double Sentinel comp from G2 just tear Leviathan apart. Sen, though, they've got the VOD footage. They can get answers to this.
Both teams have shown us a fair bit of their Pearl play style. This is the expected Sentinels composition. Tejo for John QT again, who's obviously spent most of his kickoff on this particular agent. Again, probably like one of the players with the highest number of kills just off the salvos, so been very good. But some criticism that, you know, Sen have drawn is that they play these really intricate compositions with a lot of moving parts, Wyatt, and what let them down against Loud, but Loud, especially in the first half of that series, was that the fundamentals kind of weren't there. They were too busy just spamming util with their guns put away. We want to see that fundamental, that floor rise to meet this occasion, as G2 definitely no slouches in that department.
When this machine of Sentinels with this utility dense comp is working at its best, though, it is phenomenal. It is so tough to deal with the barrage of initiator util that they have on offer. They want to fight for A early, G2 meeting them, but ultimately routed due to those guiding salvos. You just have to get out of the way. That's what they do.
G2 also no presence here towards Art or Connector there. So it is just going to be the 2-player crossfire over on the A side for the time being. The Ray playing very far back, and there is going to be some movement here in the other side of that mid door.
Curious to see if Jaw wants to get even more proactive, try and push past that door.
There is a trademark here outside of Art. It's going to be smoked out though. Here comes Sentinels working on this A site. Now they're going to get activated in A main as well. Arkrose there's going to flash Trent out, but he's still going to set this one up, trying to get information with that recon, but Sentinels are way too fast. They break upon them like waves on rock. And now they're sat in this side proper. Leaf gets picked off there as the smoke clears. Jorg is good for only the 1. And Jonah P, a spectator in this round so far.
Spike planted.
We'll have a chance to get involved with Sentinels with a late re-clear through Art and then a very quick A-side take. It's a pace that G2 were not ready for.
Absolutely not. It was that smoking of the trademark and then walking up to the site, hitting the gas. Trent, you know, wanted to make a play off of this recon, but they just swing right into him. The flash as well disrupts Valen's ability to get the kill on Zek and trade that out. One of my big takeaways from this round 2, good to see Narrate start with a 3-piece. He was in so many tough situations, map 1.
We did it!
The vibes are back. I think Narrate really needed that.
Yeah.
He's an ultra-talented player, was a prospect in Tier 2, played in VCT over in Europe last year, now back on NA soil. He's got to get into the mix. He does on round one. Dink onto Leaf, and he's forced to retreat.
Yeah, Leaf was hoping to intervene there as the orb was once again secured. And John might just be left here towards the A side. There's no attempt for G2 to push up, or they can't really push up on A because of that early Teo util that gets thrown at them. It forces them right into the back of the map and more of a big biased setup.
And with that gate crash heading over towards A, you can fully expect Zekken to make some noise over towards B, and then just teleport away back to the rest of the squad, who are going to have to deal with Leaf, but a very, very low HP Leaf.
Zekken is one orb away from Dimensional already. There's the drone. Zekken here, gate crash over towards this A side. They're going to hit it hard, and instantly Leaf already plucked out of the mix. So once again, an open side here for Sentinels. G2's gamble doesn't stand up under scrutiny.
I think that stealth drone even actually got the suppress on Leaf, so he couldn't teleport away. Just caught trying to retreat into Flowers. It's all classics for G2. Sen would love to have a clean bonus round, bring 4 Bulldogs into it.
Yeah, let Zekken go roaming here. A little bit of extra cash.
And live or die, he's going to get the dimensional drift for the bonus round. There it is. And why not stat pad as well?
Every orb has been funneled to Zekken. Gate crashing across the map to secure them both.
And look at this, they're just trying to optimize these alt orbs. Now Narrate is on the hunt, trying to find the G2 players over in spawn.
I love that. Get him an early nightfall here if possible. Well, won't spot anything. Out of order it goes. His alt orbs just vaporize right before him.
All good. I like that Sen are locked in on that level, though.
Yeah.
That shows you that their heads are in the game, despite map 1 being an absolute challenge.
Oh, you're right. Yep, completely suppressed. Was Leaf?
Here we go.
We are proper orb maxing here, Wyatt.
Killed Valen and Trent 2 rounds in a row. Well, I killed Valen.
Yeah, Zekken off to a good start as well. 2 of the teams that have really loved running this Yoru, positioning it as the best duelist in the meta in their opinions, respectively. Here's Leaf, though. Early Outlaw. Pressed up into A main.
Hey, Leaf is here. I imagine he'll be forced to vacate this area. He doesn't. They choose to do so. Zekken. Oh, he's a moxie! Okay, gets in there with the Bucky. Leaf is down. Trent's going to be forced back now by those salvos that come a little bit later from John. And the man himself is going to creep up on this site.
And that haunt not being broken allows Sen to just walk in. They know they can skill into the site for free. Spike planted in the open. How do they position here? They want to go towards Art together.
It's going to be the counter flood.
And now they're just waiting as well. John doesn't have his utility yet, but they want those guided salvos to cycle, to deny a plant after the grab wheel goes off. G2 have to tap this. They have to get the util out.
Here's the Horde coming down that was destroyed straight away. Rays of Iron also could not be deployed. Sentinels peer in here. They're just going to contact check this. Narain's able to get one, though. He's had a decent game to start with. The defuse, of course, the KO util is going to be there. Valen's still standing. It's up to John. All up to John. Trent drops. John here with the Ghost. Spray on Valen, it's got to half, and Valen's able to win it out. It's about as close as it gets, and G2 get on the board.
Barely. Valen, 34 HP remaining. Significant damage dealt by Sentinels, who worked into that site beautifully off the dimensional drift, that early ultimate that Zekken acquired, getting all the kills on the prior 2 rounds.
Seat of your pants type stuff there. And Sentinels end up kind of, seeding that site to G2, allow them to come in and hope to flood with some form of util, but it also gets shut down, and they've got to just contact swing into the site.
Bear in mind, obviously, that was just the bonus for Sen. This is their full buy. They want to fight towards A main again. Haunt going up top. On the angle, flashed up, and that's going to force him to use that teleport, get out to safety. A main is now controlled by Sen.
They might just leave the loose end of Bank here for the time being.
Yeah, just insert him, control that space. And all the while, try and get a bit deeper into mid. Zelsa's pressed up towards the doors, the spike working towards Art.
Trent sees Sentinels just ambling back into Plaza only now, so can obviously surmise that they previously were thick over towards the A side and pulled out.
Now G2 could definitely feel that there may be an A split looming with that Prowler going through Art and getting control of A main early or Sen, right? But now pressuring towards Link. I like how they're working the map here. They're keeping G2 guessing.
Okay, Jorg is containing them though. He's actually going to go back into the corner that previously was targeted by the salvo.
This is a beautiful pivot from John QT. Great calling off that B Link pressure. Drew Trent away. They just have to break this. Trip, there it goes. Getting into the A site now. Oh, the pressure on Valen. Nightfall coming through.
Now all of his secrets going to be laid bare now. They know the Valen is going to be tucked here by Dugout. That's just a clone, King knows it. Flash here, Zeka trying to work his way around the corner. Lead gets his first of the game though. Forced to play from behind the grab wheel for now. Celsius aware there could be a wrap and it's a pretty quick one for Jorgamo. Not the range you want to be at with that Stinger, but still good damage done onto Celsius now as Leaf is snarled up amongst that Razorvine. The Professor though deals with the Mastermind. And it's all on Celsius here to hold the fort of this post plant. The Razorvine again giving him a little bit of breathing room, but G2 swing him. And Lee finds his first 3 of the game in stunning style.
That was such a great mid-round pivot from Sentinels as well. The way they worked the map there was really fantastic. Drawing Trent back over towards B. The site mostly vacant aside from Valen, who is really entrenched over towards Dugout. It's the shots from Leaf that end up making the difference. And just spray through from Jonah. Oh my god, this thing, it just feels effortless when you're watching him. He's never trying too hard to get kills. He really is just letting the game come to him, and he's not missing shots.
Genuinely cool-headed couple of rounds there for G2. Sentinel still on some vestigial currency.
Yeah, just by virtue of getting the spike down again, right? Early A main control. Same as round 4. Last time they left a bang there to just keep a watchful eye while they work the map elsewhere.
This time, no Leaf though over towards A main for the defenders. He is set up here with Jorg towards mid doors.
Yeah, this is how G2 set up their first pistol round actually, with the Jaw Leaf duo right there. And Leaf with that Outlaw does have a couple 125 HP, light armor targets to one shot. That's Bang and John QT.
The narrowest of gaps. Get something here, the reaction time, not quite there as Elsis with the punish. Goes quite low himself, one of the few 150 players on the field. Prowler comes in. Jorg has to stave off all of this frustrating util from Narrate.
He really wants to pay back the favor, find that trade. At the very least, gets some valuable utility out of Narrate right there. You know, the Prowler expended. Sen have gathered up, though, for the B hit. After Zelsis able to find that kill with the high bullet penetration from the Guardian. They'll have to deal with the sheer wall. They want to get this procced ASAP.
Second, of course, knows this. He would like to get into halls and be a bit of a nuisance, but Jonah P is going to see that gate crash coming. He might have to give some of that space up now. Here come the salvos. Razorvine also going to be deployed. C's committed to that as well. Jorg's on the corner, though. Jorg's on the corner! Oh, it's carnage! 4-4, the Jorg sat up on the swing. And now Celsius has got nothing left to do. Shock Dart steals the ace. But I think the point is the same. G2 dismantle Sen's all-out push.
Time dwindled so low for Sen. That is tragic.
Bro, you are calling a timeout instantly after that.
Insane lineup. Oh, Neri trying to get in for the trade as well. He didn't even move his mouse. Knock the dominoes down.
I just had a feeling about that. Seeing Jorgamo in the corner. Well, I'll tell you what, so much of the narratives was, hey, G2 don't need Jorgamo to pop off to win these games, but when he does, just incidentally, I don't think they're going to be complaining.
This has definitely been Jaw's best series so far with the G2 team in kickoff. Phenomenal stuff.
It's frustrating for Kaplan because those first couple of Sen rounds obviously went off the pistol. They're working their way towards a bonus, fair enough. But it's in the post plant that the wheels tend to fall off when Sen have those pretty fast hits. They slowed down the tempo so much in that round. And they know what they're going up against. They know they've got to deal with the Vice util. They know they have to hit the side through the Seas wall, but they've got the Teho to keep so much of the defenders at bay, but they don't account for Jorgamo.
What's frustrating for Sen is that they've had good mid-rounding. 2 rounds ago, that pivot that John called going over to A with the sight only having one player, then they end up losing post plant. There, the real mistake was letting time get so low against the Vice, they have to wait out the wall, so when they actually get into that execute together, they have so much to cover in such a short period of time that Jaw really just goes unnoticed when the focus was on Jonah P playing back halls. So tough. So tough. Zekken has the Sheriff into this round. The only weapon of any note for SEN.
Okay, different setup here. This time for G2, they've actually sent Leaf over towards Art. Just hold a contact angle. And SEN do fight a little bit for A. Probably not expecting to be allowed to get so far. It probably tells them that the chamber is not on the A side right now.
At the moment, G2, they don't have to do a thing. You have Jonah jump peeking over at B long, spotting nothing out. Passive angle being held from Leaf. Outlaw again. Definitely the player taking the most advantage of this weapon right now in America's 2025. Has Art on lock.
Yeah, SEN are very wary of Art, and the double swing just doesn't give them any catharsis. Leaf has one bullet for each of them. Jorgamo's going to give them some room here now. Let them trundle straight down Link. The Razor of Iron does nothing to catch him.
Just another example in the long line of them in kickoff so far.
We're doing this again, guys. Oh, I love that. Okay, beautiful little high-low. Zekken actually just swung that from the off angle. Right, so away we go. Outlaw to hand here for Narrate. He's picked that one up for 3 plays here for SEN. 17 seconds left in the round. They're going to go for the plant. Once again, clone whistles past. Narrate takes damage from God knows where. It's going to be Zekken to find Valen though. Trent is tucked in here. He can stand in the safe zone though between those 2 salvos, but needs to be impactful. John! Beautifully done. SEN bundle once more striking. And Steltron is going to check water. Won't have enough time to wrap though towards Flowers.
Oh, Judgeable with the first and off too fast, second too low on HP.
Still, the matter of the defuse is at hand. Narrate is going to have to do it again. Feels like him against the world. Straight through the corner of the masonry. Jorgamo goes down. Jonah is healthy though. Looking to get this to half. Narrate seeks him. And it's a shot through the jugular to claim the round. Another hard-fought one for Sentinels. But they breathe still.
Zekken out of thin air manifests a round win from nothing, less than nothing, 3 versus 5. I was ready to go on a little diatribe about how Leaf is letting the game come to him yet again and just getting these free kills, holding angles. Well, he got his 2, but oh my god, man, how does Zekken bring that back? Outrageous. And is putting G2 in a dangerous situation economically here with multiple players below 1K. So many ults on the board for both teams in a pivotal round 7.
Yeah, tour de force though here for Leaf. So it can play similarly. Jorgamo pushed up here in A main yet again. Hunter's Fury comes out. So much of this early util. Oh, Zekken! I thought he might have had that one, but Valen was ready and Trent finds one with the Hunter's Fury. Aldo is going to check over towards Connector, spots 2 Sentinels players. And he's at Steel Garden. G2 disarmed for the time being. They've got to give this space up.
That forces Trent out, but they can play for the retake. They have a Cosmic Divide as well to cut off one of the crucial angles when getting back in. Bang stuck on default. Narrate far forward. Those 2 players have to go off, and Narrate gets the first.
Down to 33, but he might be able to take that space up here over towards Flowers. There's nobody else there from G2. They're all trying to come in from Secret. There's that retake wall coming down now. Narrate has the wrap. He has a golden opportunity to send this one out to the fences. It's just Valen standing. Now on the 1 versus 2, but this is carpeted in utility. 31 points of health. He'll go through the wall. Absolutely unhinged stuff from G2's IGL, and Bang. He's in just the right spot.
Narrate has come to life. Rejuvenated after map 1. He is determined to show that what happened over on Abyss is nowhere near his standard. This is lights out. That first duel win against Jonah, mega impact. And he just
happens to call the 3-1 split between Flower and Secret. He knows he can get through there. That's instrumental.
And Bang clutches things out.
Nice! Marsh, what a fucking... Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Well, we tried to cut that off as fast as we could. Well, NT, I guess.
You win some, you lose some. Timeout here for G2, of course, as Wyatt alluded to. Their money was in a precarious position coming into that round anyway. Sentinels just string another beauty together.
And at that, Sen will be even more happy. Cherry on top that they got a couple ults out from G2, the Hunter's Fury. And in their hands for the next buy after this round 8 where G2 are ecoed, they still have a Nightfall Cosmic Divide and an Armageddon. This is a situation for them where they can run away with the half. They need to have a pretty clean anti-eco here, though. Their money is certainly not out of the woods yet. A few players below 1K.
And that is a pretty incredible stat. Half the time able to win those 4v5s. It's pretty ridiculous. Comeback rate. So don't count Sentinels out if they come into the mid-round short-handed. Okay, looks like we are gambling on the A side for G2. Sen wasting pretty little time despite being into an anti-eco.
Sen will be happy that they don't have to deal with the shear here either. It was placed by Jonah P over towards the B link. So they'll be able to get into this site with ease, and they're actually just going to go for the safe plant as well. You know, due to that economic situation we discussed, they want to keep this round as clean as possible.
Yeah. Draw G2 out into the sunlight, force them to expose themselves to the longer sight lines that are being held, and John QT sees Valen's head pop through the wall and instantly will puncture it.
Yeah, now they can just retreat and play for spam. Jojimo falls off the aggressive play, and only Leaf remains.
Zelsis does not take that gate crash seriously. He expects it to be cancelled, but has a reaction, of course, to whip around and take the kill. And all things considered, as far as anti-ecos go, this is what Sentinels were looking for. That would have been a tough correction for Leaf to have made, and Zelsis will get out of the round.
This is the first time really in any maps that G2 have played in this tournament that they are not in the driver's seat early, that they are starting to feel the walls close around them. This is so dangerous. Now this is where Sen can run around in the run away with the half, excuse me, this next gun round.
Like you mentioned, they actually still kept, of course, those key ultimates into this gun round, with the exception of that Cosmic Divide to make a safe post-plant setup for themselves in round 8.
Yeah, which is more than well worth it when you see that all of their players have, you know, thousands of credits at this point each. Early on, double initiator drones used. It was a Prowler into B-Link from Sen as well as that stealth drone from John. And that's going to insert Zekken a bit deep towards B.
This is a classic setup, right? You've got your Yoru pushing A. And of course the long line being held by your chamber. That was a clone. So Leaf has to give up that line briefly. Narrate just glides across into the crosshairs for Jonah. Opportunistic posting there for the Professor gives him that early kill.
Unfortunately, that was the Nightfall as well that's now removed from this buy round.
Sen thinking about art now. Trenton, Valen with a pseudo high-low. They are going to filter their way in. Here comes the flash. That's turned. Valen got off the line. No, it's Sen able to punish him. Now they're going to be smoked off the situation. Caution to the wind. Into a link, G2 go. Shot darts herald their arrival, but John found Trent. Jonah had his teammate at his back, picked off, but they're not ready for the second. And Jong is waiting for them over on the A site. It's up to Bang.
30 seconds left.
30 seconds to play. Spike is still over towards Link. And the TP across the side. Bang goes boom, and G2. They silence the room.
Trent being the human drone there, just a piece of bait, getting the information, and then also making Sen think, surely another player won't be pushing out of this smoke, and Jonah has the perfect flank timing.
I think it's clear, why wouldn't you?
Surely there won't be a second player coming from that position, and he just slips right out of there silently.
He was the hammer, Jorg was the anvil, launching forward at the same time. So just to Sen start to get their nose out in front. G2 tell a couple of lies, and all of a sudden, it's even again.
Economy now not in a safe spot for either team. And the ultimate's not used on the previous round from Sen. Could pay dividends here. Zetshaw forced away by the stealth drone. Doesn't want to get suppressed.
This is such a fast hit here through Link. Jorg almost sees it coming though. Razorbine's going to slow them up. Flash as well to continue to hinder the attackers. Jorg is going to set up behind him. He's going to go for this. Flash himself from behind the box, but Sen don't want a bar of it. They've committed to the site fully now, but they're on a timer.
Oh, where do they go from now? Do they try to fight forward with the Nightfall or deal with Jaw?
They're going to get crushed.
They're pinched.
The trash compactor, the walls start closing in. Bang was able to find the one, but second they can just see the corner of his model around the corner, and Valen is there for two. Zelsis again has to do more than sell vibes. He's going to sell a dream. Jonah Pre snuffs it out.
After Jaw teleports behind them, matter of fact, his gate crash expired. He had no choice but to fight from that position. Ultimately, SEN are completely encircled. You could see the decision was, let's not deal with Jaw. We want to try and go forward.
Talk about putting him on a clock, Wyatt.
One enemy remains.
I love that G2 opted to play that so aggressively as well, fighting Sentinels as a unit, flooding back into the site. Just catching them all running forward, aside from John, who unfortunately lost that duel to Jawjimo.
We're in for a fight here at A main, Wyatt. Both teams at least posture for it. Jawjimo's going to be able to push up at least. Got to watch out for someone that spammed through the box. He knows he needs to get out. So
SEN, they've been doing a good job controlling A main. Essentially every round they have this position. Here comes that Steel Guard and Dimensional Drift. Zekken getting all of the information. We'll find out for the rest of the team that G2 have fully retreated back to spawn.
Yep.
Gets the info on both anchors now.
Timing off the garden comes in before Zekken confirms that they pulled off the site, so eventually it doesn't get actually that much value.
Oh, Narrate swings alone though, trying to capitalize off of that information, goes down.
There's a Razor Vine, says, oh, this is an awkward angle. However, there was an opening there as the clone was picked off. Gravity well, catching two players. John's having to deal with Leaf, and it's going to be a big stack here. But Jonah and Valen will get there. Everybody for G2 involved, but Zekken holds it down. Can he make it a third?
Gets the info on Trent. Good fake teleport.
Backs up. Gate crash was an option. He cancels it though, and Trent will come out on top. So consistent, so reliable. And he'll get the defuse.
Oh, he just wanted to hope that the crosshair would have been drawn to that right side from Trent's point of view, but he's just too swift, and Zekken too low HP to win out the 1 versus 3. A battle of
tanking the shot.
Yeah, that's a battle of two players that have been winning a hell of a lot of clutches for their respective teams.
Trent brilliant there on Abyss. That's a bit of an inflection point that round, I've got to say. Sentinels here last round of the half. A bit to buy in for. G2, of course, have a decent retake behind this Cosmic Divide.
Sentinels have, of course, fully invested here. This is the last round of the half, the last opportunity. It hasn't been too bad so far, though. A pretty competent attack side. They'd love to tie things up here. Maybe get Bang and Orb, have that Cosmic Divide ready to go. Valen has his for the defenders. Trent one away from the Hunter's Fury. All key little elements of this round to keep your eye on.
We haven't seen too many of these slower SEN rounds. And when they ended up finding nothing in mid and pivoted to be late, they were picked apart. Well, Jorg also just flattened 4 of them, but that's just a detail, really. So John is exploring that B side of the map. Bit of overkill for just one drone, but sending a message, RG2, do not come to B. Sentinels acquiesce.
Trent gets a bit of info, just shock darts away, gets to safety. This is Sentinels trying to get through Art quickly into the A site. They've struggled in the post plants here. G2 have been
Jonah
so good.
The timing, oh, there's no way you're ready for that. Zelsis, Narrate's able to get away with it though. He does take a fair chunk of damage in doing so, and there's still no plant quite yet. SEN have not committed, but there's 33 seconds in the round. Cosmic now getting thrown up to waylay them even further. SEN have to make a decision.
They're slowing things down, and G2 are falling off. They're going towards B right now. The site is lighter. Second Cosmic Divide.
They're going to double back. Map getting cut up here. And then Jorg over the top finds one. Valen has been so good on these retakes. This round, no exception. Finds himself 3. Put G2 ahead by 2.5.
Both sides displaying some great play at that A site at times, but towards the end of the half, it was all G2 flooding in at the right moments together. Again, just displaying the fundamentals, the way that they're all able to push through this Cosmic Divide together. Off that flash from Joe. Oh. God, Valen is a shooter when he needs to be. He's a problem.
That is raw sauce, no ketchup, Wyatt. There's been a couple of those moments from Valen in similar situations. Guys, been so crisp today. We're going to go to a break, folks. When we come back, a second half of what still might be a decider map in this series if G2 have their way. Winner, of course, goes to Bangkok. We'll see you in a moment.
Red Bull gives you wings.
The two most brilliant IGLs in Americas are locked right now in Death's Duel. It's been Valen and John QT calling the shots across both of these two maps. The first one, of course, looking very favorable for G2, and Sen had a great start here on Pearl, but that momentum started to peter out.
Yeah, the two IGLs who came up during essentially the exact same era, playing against each other in Challengers in the Ascension Finals a couple years ago, and then both finding their way into the top of VCT Americas. That next generation of the best we have in the region.
What's it going to be, Sen City? A big pistol round here is a great way to make a statement. Give yourself a staging ground. Jorg just lazily walks on out there. Bang is clean. And now Sen have been able to push up pretty nicely here towards Plaza. Trent just antics around the corner, gets rid of Zelsis, makes it a 3 versus 3.
Oh, great stealth from, I mean, Leaf is just so sickening with the headhunter. The amount of first bullet taps he gets, man. There's just no one shooting like him.
And just the timing as well as they look to capitalize off the stealth drone. John, I mean, the rest of Sen thought they were home free to find those picks. And that shut them up real quick.
What more can Bang do? He gets his two, gets them the advantage, but Zelsis isolated. Time is dwindling at the moment. Trent has a recon cycled back up. That's going to be really dangerous. Could go past the Nebula, maybe light somebody up.
And Nateo Util just went towards clearing holes that G2 have given up.
There's so much to clear for Sen right now. Zekin's gonna have to hit some really quick headshots.
I've seen this before. I've seen this before from Zekin. Pushing up in the post plant towards Long. He knows Valen is playing back there as well, but eventually it's just too much for him to deal with. And another here, pistol for G2. Just as Sen, we're looking to even up the game.
Sadly for Sen, there's just too much to clear and not enough time once they actually get onto the spike and they're hit by that grav well. Further delay. It's such a frustrating experience to have to defuse in that kind of situation. Sen are on the back foot. G2 in the driver's seat. A win here gets them into the grand finals, but even more importantly, it sends them straight to Masters Bangkok.
Yeah, it locks up that Masters stint.
Try for the first time to win an international trophy. Something their opponent in the server has done before. Something that they're still on a quest to achieve.
You know, they'd also love, I think, to lift a trophy or win a tournament domestically. Something that was tantalizingly out of their grasp last year. All right, well, the gamble for Sen. They see nothing over towards the B side of the map here. It'll be a retake for them. An upstrut G2 with a straightforward A plant, and there's some extension here, at least over towards Secrets.
Everything covered at the moment by G2 and falling back to main just to play spam with the superior weapons. You have Jaw playing forward here, can take an engagement and go right back to main with the rest of the group.
Also that regen shield as well, gonna top him back up, means he's still good to throw down and brawl a little bit. Hang on, we're at half. Zekin got off of it. Jaw goes, he doubles back, gets another. John found two though with the classics. Haunt dealt with and Jonah P needs to explode here. The spray is good though. We'll be up to narrate. It's doable. Time not on his side though, and definitely the better weapon in Jonah P's hands.
I mean, how are they winning this spam battle with classics? I do not know. What was that, a hat trick from John? How did he get the last one? Just some player that got also damaged top heavy, I suppose, and just got a body shot in there. Definitely need to see that on the replay.
These spam down post plants are really supposed to not be favored.
I mean, that's an
players.
awkward timing with the recon coming in after Valen's swing. So he goes down looking a little bit silly from Sen's point of view. Listen, Sentinels will definitely take that. They'll be happy to deal all that damage. They've got G2 on a trash buy now.
Yep, there you're right. It's a little bit awkward. They've got a little bit of half armor though. There's still plenty for that Outlaw to do. And okay, Zeki can't get out in time. Here come G2.
Yeah, too swift on the trade and there, forced back by multiple utility pieces from the initiator, John in tow. They want to lock this down. They look committed to anchoring this. They're not fully retreating yet, but now backing off to safer positions. John jiggling for main as G2 cut noise.
Jonah's preempting a fast wrap here. Especially as Sen's to have to stew right now, not being able to hear anything from G2 after this cut. But it's just a staggering, a syncopation of their tempo on this A side. Looks like they're still planning to end there, Wyatt.
Feels like it doesn't even need to be said, but this is must-win for the Sentinels team. With the economy on the line, G2 could get to 10 here. They have to win this out 4v4 on the retake.
Jaw is able to close the gap, get pretty close here inside that smoke, but has to respect potential spam. Can't get into dugout though, as Narrate does cause Trent's gun to go loose. Jorg though will recover it. Narrate's pushed up pretty far there towards dugout, jump spotting this. A little bit of spray down through the wall, but he's unperturbed.
Now John does have some missiles as well to get back in here, but they've got to go soon. They're waiting for Zelsis on this rotate. Jaw fighting forward.
Almost had a timing, but takes a bunch of damage. No time for the regen shield to get back. Jonah P. Good for owning the one, and Leaf is completely out of the picture here. There's going to be bodies upon bodies to try and get through towards stop this. You can't get there. And that'll be the defuse for John. Bang for 3.
And there's that solid retake that Sen desperately needed. On account of Neri getting a spam kill through early, patient. They wait for Zelsis to make the rotate over to them in spawn, and then Jaw was exposed on site. Great swings from Bang. And Leaf just out with the ideal spam weapon from main. The outlaw there while the spike is being stuck.
And John sets it up by finding, 3 kills on that pistol round in the post plant with a spam through the smoke.
Now we can see some real emphasis on the ult orbs here. You have Trent one away from the Hunters, Fury. And then you have Second and John over on Sen, one away from their ults respectively. They're getting up into A main. So John's going to get the Armageddon now. Oh, Cells is punished.
Yeah, they're emphasizing that mid-doors position a little bit more. They just left Trent passively spotting towards that A side and didn't fight for the orb at all.
And look at Bang. You can tell he's feeling the pressure now. He's jump spotting. He wants to see where these players are coming from because he doesn't have the best info on B long. With Zelsis going down, that sheer wall is irrelevant.
Jorgamo ended up faking that gate crash down mid. But the jump spot was more than enough for Bang to see that single player up towards double doors.
Now Zekin right now does have a good position in A main. That's allowing Sen to try and post up towards B. Bang spotted out, dangerous.
Bang trying to get away, now it's stunned out in the open. Exposed and eliminated. John QT sat back behind those smokes there, little gap in the corner. Valen could see it, but he's going to walk up instead. John opts to get that ground up. Conceding space now to the attackers.
John wanted to find a pick with the Armageddon, isn't able to do so, and now Jaws on this late flank, Sen trying to push forward. Jonah on default.
God, everything's being thrown at him. Decayed down, sheer wall does come up here, but Jonah still ends up getting the raid out of the game. And second, in what's a must-win round, look at the money here for Sentinels. It's dire straits for Sentinels now as G2 have a pretty clean round. 4 guns come out of it for them. They get to 10.
Oh, unfortunately, Sen would have even benefited from some damage being done to G2 there, with all their players basically on effective 0 in terms of the credits. But now the economy will begin to get bolstered a little bit. They have a lot of ults moving forward. Bang wanted to anchor so desperately. Bang as an anchor is really the hallmark of his play. That is where he excels, but G2 hit him with a flood of utility into the back halls, the recon spotting him out into the gravel. It's just impossible to navigate around that minefield.
G2 have a safe post plant, in theory, behind this Cosmic Divide if they want to play anti-eco protocol on B. That might be the plan, but there is, of course, that initial Vice util that does have to be respected.
They want to ensure they get to 11. Sen are trying to stop them with a force buy, by the way. They've invested everything into this. Oh no, Bang!
He emerges on the other side of the wall, so he doesn't get the sound cue, just swings it. That's dirty stuff for Jorg. Drops down, would put Batman to shame. And now you've got 2 guns left for Sen. Jorg just doubles back through the wall, and John can't even get a lucky kill. Now you're in that post plant. Sentinels just forcing for the rest of the game at this rate. Narrate finds the one, but Jorgamo has been tearing them to shreds one by one. A Jaguar unleashed. And Narrate doesn't have the bullets to get him out of this one. 4 for Jorg, 11 for G2. And frowns for Sen City.
Man, said it prior, but for Jaw, this has been his best series so far. Picks it up, has the Leaf-like stat line with 20 kills at the moment.
Would this be Leaf's first map without 20 kills or more?
It would be his first. That is just so intelligent. Circumventing the Cosmic Divide and Bang not getting the audio cue. He pops out, gets the kill, drops down. This guy is so sick. And that man on the screen, Josh RT, the G2 coach, he spoke before even their first game about this edition of Jaw, which everyone was looking forward to. how he is such a different player from the G2 core. He pushes the pace. He will go for the wild plays like that, while the rest of them, traditionally, more of a conservative approach to the game. But with him on the team, Josh has found that they can be dynamic in the pace that they're playing at. They can have their trademark slow rounds that we saw on Abyss, where they dismantled the aggressive efforts from SEN, but they can push the pace now like that. They have the X factor.
And it doesn't cloud their identity. I mean, Jorgamo definitely wasn't compatible with the G2 of last year, but both Jorg and G2 have met in the middle, created something completely different.
And it's resulted in this team that is just, at the moment, defined by excellence, en route to win 6 maps in a row, not dropping a single one, 2 rounds away from making it, again, not just to the grand final, but to the first Masters tournament of the year.
And Wyatt, this just isn't particularly close right now. Abyss wasn't either.
SEN risked it all on that last buy. They forced into it with 2 stingers. That's resulted in an eco round here. 4 sheriffs among them.
Fast push up B.
Maybe some ultimates, if they get a couple headshots, can turn the tide.
There's the flash. They've got to get up that line. Oh, no escape. That Taeho Newton's going to lock him in here. I like that. They overwhelm Leaf and get themselves an outlaw.
That is an excellent punish. Now G2 and Leaf calling all of that information over to them. IGL Valen, he knows that it's time to just hit the gas, get into A, and now they're playing this forward position with this spike planted for Secret. They're going to meet SEN in the spawn.
Still flashes to work with for SEN. Okay, Zekin's going to see all of this now. Can he radio it back efficiently? Zelsa's with that recovered outlaw. Trent now realizes he's going to be in a bit of danger if he sticks around. John gets there with the Sheriff. Zekin with the wrap. It's not good enough. Trent for 4. Hang on, where did he come from? 1 away from the ace here is Trent, and he's waiting for Zelsas to walk right on up. Jonah P, though, secures it. SEN looked like they had a great opener there, but they could not stick the landing. And you're not surprised. They're nothing but pistols in that round. We are on match point. G2 1 round away from qualifying for Masters Bangkok.
They were throwing haymakers at G2. Every ultimate expended in that situation. The Nightfall was perfect. This was the moment where Trent changed the complexion of that late round. He had to go down there. And if he does, that should be a Sentinels win. They would have been back in the game.
Here we go, folks. Sentinels with a desperate last-ditch effort now in this round number 19. Second on the line, punishes the shoulder pick from Tweb, but Jorg's already deep. He's very deep. Will he stick it into halls? He does. He gets behind Advice Util. So they have a mole. There is an imposter among us.
Wow, Leaf is actually pushing up into Link at the exact same time, meeting with Valen over there.
Still guarded. It's got to be Jorg on his own here behind this Cosmic Divide. At some point, G2 have to intervene. Seconds ready. It's a shorty off, in fact. Now G2 want to come back here, but it might be too late for that center flooding into the site. They have it under control with Valen. Valen at a timing. It's not bad, but it's not enough. Not yet. Jonah P stunned up by that special delivery. In the meantime, the defuse goes down. Life still for SEN.
Perfect stun from John, and they really, Sentinels were just able to circumvent those link positions from G2, smoking it off, fighting forward on the site. Sure, you know, Valen makes an attempt late, that second player coming in from that angle, but at that point, numbers overwhelming for SEN.
And now this is where SEN, despite this being a very dangerous situation, go back to what worked for them so well on this map against Loud. Get that, you know, A main control, leave Zek in there quite often.
You want to play,
and work the B side too.
5 opportunities for G2 to close this out. Get to Masters. Can SEN make this comeback a reality? Zek push forward, excuse me, has to get out. Oh my God, Trent is just too accurate with a Hunter's Fury.
Zelsis is a steaming pair of shoes, that's it. Zek was forced off the line, but the Clone hasn't had an impact in this round. The B presence for G2 is minimal as they have pivoted to an A main that was uncontested, to a site that's only being populated by Bang. And he's about to get real busy.
This might just be another fantastic call from Valen to close out the game, hitting the site with only 1 player.
The multi-swing is just too much to deal with. Bang feeling like Narrate from that first map, all on his own. And Island that is covered by the G2 Tsunami, and now we fall back to the post-plant positions. G2 don't have any deep sight positions. No one at dugout. All playing from A main, and a late wrap here through Art should come.
Oh, and Leaf gets the kill onto second. They have post-plant utility as well. Shots exchanged.
Goes low. John QT managed to hit that big 140 shot, and Narrate's able to move up there. Checks Art. The late flank is thwarted. Here's the C's. No one caught in it, and Jorgamo. It'll have to be him. Narrate, try as he might. Can't do it. And G2 is more than just a statement. G2-0. It's a lifestyle, baby.
This team is just simply excellence. 6 maps won in a row. A whole bunch of different maps too, by the way. It feels like their map pool is just everything at the moment. And off this sick run, they've made it into the grand finals. They've made it to the first Masters of the year. And they are living up to the enormous expectations that have been placed upon them by the community, by the fans. The roster has lived up to the hype. Jaw showing why he is a world champion. This is his best series that he's played so far, and it's been against the toughest opponent they've ran into so far. What a showing.
And much like the Sentinels of 2024, this is a G2 that put the work in the off-season to get Jorgamo acclimated so they could hit the ground running here in Americas. And their performance so far has been nothing short of flawless. They now await in that grand final. They may be looking at Sentinels again in that game. The lower bracket is a treacherous place to be sent to at this point in kickoff. I've got to say though, that clean play, the team play, just as Leaf highlighted, was more than enough to overcome the heroics today.
And since a couple years ago when that rivalry between the M80 team and the Guard back then with the two IGLs of John Cutie and Valen, this is the 10th time they've gone back and forth in matches. Valen is up 6-4. They are two of the best that we have in the region, if not the two best.
Sentinels have brought out some of these really interesting compositions with a lot of bells and whistles, but the fundamentals let them down a little bit against Loud. They made that a really close map, and up against G2, you can't come in half-baked. You can't come in without all of your hatches battened down. And multiple points, we saw Sentinels get exposed, despite some moments from individuals that you come to expect from this team. They were not able to show that level of play consistently enough to topple this juggernaut in Americas. G2 are the real deal.
That second map was the first one where Leaf actually had an off game. Every other map up until that point was dropping 20 minimum, including map 1 Abyss. And it just doesn't matter because this team is so well-rounded. The consistency is there. All aspects of their play are firing on all cylinders at the moment. You can't be anything but impressed. There's a reason that they're driving so much hype at the moment. There's a reason people are thinking they could be the ones to win Masters. They've made it there at the very least.
A lot of those round wins really sucking the air out of the room here as Sen City fell further and further into dismay. But it's not over for that team, of course. They've got to go down to that lower bracket, of course, and you know, either Crew or MIB might be awaiting them. I'm curious to see how that evolves. For now, though, we're going to go down to Riv on the stage for our Verizon post-match interview with the one and only Professor.
With you. We're doing it live, no worries. All right, we're here with Jonah P. Ladies and gentlemen, G2 making it to Masters Bangkok. Let's go. Congratulations to G2, to Jonah P. I got to ask you, how's it feel now that you've locked in the Masters Bangkok ticket?
It feels great. I would say we expected this.
Okay.
Our practice have been really drilled. You know, everyone online is like saying we're the best team.
This is true.
But we're, you know, qualifying for Bangkok was really the goal. But for us, we actually want to win a stage for once. It's our 3rd time in a row, so we're going for it all.
Yeah, you got it. It's in your sight. I got to ask you, why, starting with the maps, let's go back to the game. Why was Abyss so dominant? I just want to start there. You guys came out firing.
I think our comp is just unique, and plus we have Leaf. He's been insane on Chamber. Whenever Leaf's on Chamber, we just know like our confidence is just skyrocketed. So it's just basically him.
And this always seems to be a good matchup. Obviously, map 2 went a little bit closer. What do you think it is the hardest thing about playing against Sen when you do match up against them?
Definitely you guys. The energy of the crowd is probably the hardest part to deal with. Whenever they get an insane round, you know, we definitely can hear them, and I think just having that swing of momentum shift for them is very important for them.
Just wild to think about.
Yeah, and also just this meta in general is very, very overwhelming and hard.
It's like you want to play at home, but it's their home too. It's more so their home. So great job, crowd. Great job. Got to do better next time, though. Yeah, G2 fans, you did great. Great job.
Yep.
Looking at how the team is always on top, how do you stay there? What do you do to battle complacency, to continue to innovate, to make sure that you are actually doing the right thing that nobody else is doing yet?
I mean, I don't think we've ever really been at the top yet until now. So, like you said, try not to get too complacent. Just keep grinding, keep innovating. Don't get comfortable, basically. You know, I was gonna call out NRG, but you know, NRG had their win in the offseason. Everyone predicted them, and then you know, I'm not saying they got lazy, but I think that's like standard for teams when they win an event is, you know, to get laid back, and that's not what we're gonna do. So.
Right on. And for you, final question for the professor: what homework have you given yourself this year? What are you working on, and what are you looking forward to?
Honestly, what I've been working on, I pretty much just stare at my mini-map with stun out every round. And Jogamo tells me who to stun, and I either say he's stunned or, oh shit, I'm sorry, I missed him. And, you know, that's pretty much it.
Right on. Well, everything's working. Congratulations on the match. Congratulations on Masters Bangkok. Let's hear it for G2 Esports one more time. We are going to go to a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we have MIBR versus Crew. Don't go anywhere.
I've got a bunch of different mice.
When you find the one, you know it's the one.
저는 이게 제일 좋은 것 같아요.
Look at this. Isn't this perfect?
누가 만들었는지 알려주는 것도 같이 들어있고.
This mouse is ready for a fashion show.
It's Pulsar by me.
It's by me.
It's Pulsar by you.
The human body was built to move. Not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secretlab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you. Gamers, hybrid workers, artists. Backing your every move.